All right, friends, you know what time it is. When you see and hear Rocky, it's time for evening walk and talk. Let's go hit the streets while Rocky trains. Say that 5 times fast. Go, Rocky, go! He's such an inspiration. Let's go do it. Got my phones all set up. Got my water bottle. Got my gloves. Got my hat. Got my watch set and tracking. My 3,000 steps. And do I have my keys? Yes, I have my keys. Let's go do it. You're gonna kill it. Thanks for your vote of confidence. Let's go do it. Just got done eating my dinner. I had some cod fish sticks. I'm really liking those. Those are good. I get them from Sam's Club. And I made some homemade tartar sauce, which is really good. You know, there's a lot of things that you buy in the grocery store that you can really just make yourself if you have the ingredients. And everybody's probably got everything they need for tartar sauce. It's pretty simple. It's just mayonnaise, sweet relish, lemon, and mix it up. Pretty simple. And then there's a lot of spices that, you know, you buy, like a Mexican spice or something like that. And if you look on the back, it lists out all the ingredients that are in that Mexican spice. And if you have all those ingredients, then you can just make it yourself. So I tend to buy the bulk spices. So I usually have everything I need to make whatever I need. Like a lot of the Indian spices are like that. You know, they're just mixtures of different spices. Because then, you know, if you need cinnamon, then you got cinnamon. If you need, you know, whatever. You know, some pepper powder. I forget the pepper name. But yeah, you always got them. So you can use them in different recipes. Got my handy dandy flashlight. It's not really that dark, but it's handy to just shine it. It's not that bright. So, it's been a great day. Did some more work on my website and message some more leads. about Legal Shield. I've got 5,000 leads, so until all of them tell me to get lost, I'm going to keep on messaging them. Because you never know. One day, they may just say yes. So I had 4 say yes today. So basically, I just message them. I say, hey, you had requested information about working from home a while back. I was just following up to see if you're still interested. And 4 said yes. So I emailed them a video, or I texted them a video, and I will follow up with them tomorrow and say, hey, did you watch that video? And if they did, I'll take them to the next stage, which is joining a Zoom call. And then they have to make a decision. If they want to get started or not. I need to check my Legal Shield back office to see what kind of commissions I'm getting this month. I looked the other day and it said $86. And then I looked yesterday and it said 0. So I was like, what? So typically that happens when they're recalculating. So I'll just go check it again and see where it's at now. So I've already got 3,800 steps in today. That was my walk this morning. So I'm going to do 3,000 steps this afternoon or this evening. It's not actually that cold tonight. Oh, you coming out to walk with me? Going home?
I was, yeah. I had someone come and take pictures of my house today. I put it up for sale, I told you.
Yeah.
So I would put all this stuff out of the way and then took pictures to put on the website.
Cool.
How are you doing?
Good. Just doing my walk.
You're very healthy.
I'm trying to be. Have a good night.
I won't join you though.
Okay.
Saturday, but I will.
All right. Tomorrow. Okay. Okay. Always trying to push my neighbor to do another lap. So yeah, it's Saturday night. So I was jamming out to some Tool. Tool's just such a great band to just kind of work to, because it's kind of it's exciting, but it's also kind of meditative. It's got the beats and the different rhythms. So it's a great band to just keep on autoplay and just keep on listening to it while you work. And they got some cool graphics on the screen and some cool videos. Kind of like Pink Floyd in a way, but more kind of rock, punk version, I guess you could say. So I posted on my Facebook a link for Coinbase. So if you're interested in dipping your toe into crypto, go use my link. You can set up a Coinbase account. Doesn't cost you anything. And they give you $30 worth of Bitcoin. And then I get $30 worth of Bitcoin. So head on over there, use my link. And if you already have Coinbase, I'll post a Kraken wallet. So those are the two big ones, Coinbase and Kraken. And you can buy all kinds of coins. You can trade crypto. So first you need to have a wallet. It's a digital wallet. And then you connect it to your bank and you can transfer money into your bank. Or someone can send you crypto because you have an address now. So if you're not familiar with how crypto works, so in your wallet you can have multiple addresses. So if you want to give out an address for a specific product or a specific person, then you just create the wallet ID, and then you give that person either a QR code or the long, I don't even know how many digits it is. I think it's 32, maybe. I'm guessing it'd be 32 because of the algorithm. It's probably based on 32. So, it's a long string of characters. So, it's easier if you have a QR code you can scan. And then it enters the long string right into your wallet. So, or you can email it or text it. And people can send you money. And there's no bank involved. It goes directly from their wallet to your wallet. There's no middleman. That's the beauty of crypto, specifically Bitcoin. Bitcoin is decentralized. And no one's in charge of it. It's open source. So it just kind of exists. And there's so many people interested in it that, you know, it basically runs because of the community. Like, I can set up a Bitcoin node on one of my machines, and that Bitcoin node talks to all the other nodes, and it synchronizes the blockchain. So the blockchain is a ledger of all the transactions. So if you send me $10, then that transaction gets recorded into the master ledger. And the master ledger is synchronized between all the different nodes. And that's why you have miners. Because, you know, like if I'm just running Bitcoin software at my house and I turn my computer off, then my computer is not interacting with the rest of the network. So there's got to be certain amount of machines that are online at all times to verify transactions. So that's why miners exist. Miners exist to verify transactions. And for doing so, they get rewards in the form of Bitcoin. So there's places you can go, you know, buy a mining machine and either host it at your house or host it somewhere else. And you can mine Bitcoin, which basically means run your computer. And when you're running your computer with the right software, then it'll constantly be verifying transactions. And the way that transactions get validated is when so many other Bitcoin machines see that transaction. So, so after so many people running mining software verify your transactions, then that transaction, that $10 that you paid me, gets locked in. So it's not locked in immediately, but it's locked in after a certain period of time. So like last night, I transferred money from my bank into my wallet. And it took about 20 minutes for the money to land in my wallet. That means it took 20 minutes for enough Bitcoin miners to verify the transaction. But now that transaction is locked in, can never be changed. So the money that I transferred is there for life. It's a record of I received that money into my wallet. And that's the beauty of Bitcoin, is, you know, it's digital money, but it's secured, and it's all tracked and traced So, you know, your transaction is locked in. So you can't double spend it, right? That's the problem. You know, if it didn't work that way, then people would be spending the same money twice. And that's not a valid currency, right? You can't have a valid currency if you can spend it twice. So, that's also the kind of drawback of Bitcoin, is sometimes it's slow to verify the transactions. So it's not as fast as like the credit card and banking system. You know, that's pretty much instant. When you go to a store and you use your credit card or your debit card and you buy some groceries, that's instant, right? Because it's just communicating with your bank. It's a one-way, you know, transaction that's going directly to the banking system that you work with, that your card's with, or whatever. And it gets validated very quickly. And then the money gets posted to your account. So that's why when you look at your account and you purchase something yesterday, maybe it still didn't clear yet, right? But the transaction is posted and eventually it'll clear when the bank, you know, does all its processing and they clear your account. So basically works the same way, except that Bitcoin, there's no bank involved. There's just a bunch of individual computers out there running in the world, and the software knows how to find all those computers, and it checks in with them and it says, hey, do you know about this transaction? Hey, do you know about this transaction? Hey, do you know about this transaction? And then once enough people say, yep, I know that transaction, and I know the person on this end, and I know the person on that end, I can validate them, then it gets locked in. So that's why it's a little slower, because it's got to check with thousands and thousands and thousands of computers all over the world to validate that transaction. So, you know, there's a plus and a minus to it. The plus is that we can do transactions between me and you. So it's like digital cash, right? We don't need a bank involved. You can send me any amount of money you want, and it'll land in my wallet. And the downside is that, you know, it may be a little slower to actually happen. It's not going to happen immediately. Like if someone Zells you money, you pretty much see it immediately, right? And then it's a little more complicated, right? You got to learn how to do this kind of stuff. So I can teach you how to do it. It's not that difficult, but it's something new, right? You ever go to a new location, maybe like a foreign country or a different city, and you're not familiar with that city? So if you have, then you know the feeling, right? you get to this city, especially if it's a different language. Like, I'll tell you a story. So let me get a sip of water first. This is a good story. Let me switch hands. That hand's getting tired of holding my phone. Okay. So, back when I was single, before my second marriage, I was using these online dating apps, and I met this girl in China. And, we were kind of chatting back and forth. And a friend of mine said, "Hey, I'm taking a trip to Thailand. Would you like to go and be my personal photographer?" I said, "Sure. If you're paying the bills, I'll go to Thailand." So I went to Thailand, and it was great. That's a whole story in itself. And then I arranged with this girl that I was going to fly from Thailand to China and meet her, right? And she didn't really speak English. And, I was pretty adventurous. Some people would never do that, right? So she gave me this long string of Chinese characters, which basically told me where to fly to and what bus to get on and what stop to get off. So, again, most people wouldn't do that. But I'm adventurous. So I buy a ticket, and I stayed extra time on the Thailand and on the end of the Thailand trip. So I stayed for like 3 days extra. And I was gonna fly over to China for a day, which it was like a 2-hour flight. So it's kind of like going to LA from Vegas, right? It's not that big of a deal. So I flew over to China, to Guangzhou, and I got off the plane, and I went outside, and everything's in Chinese, and there's all these Chinese people running around looking at me, because I'm the white guy, right? Stick out like a sore thumb. And there's all these buses lined up. And like, I'm trying to make out the characters on this piece of paper I got. And I'm asking people like, "Hey, which bus? Right? So finally someone points me. They're like, "That one, that's the bus." And then you have to be careful, because there's all these hustlers there, hustling rides, right? Like taxi drivers. And they're all like, "Hey, need a ride? And like, they're trying to pull you into their car. I'm like, no, I'm good. And of course, I don't speak any Chinese. So I get on this bus, and I'm hoping this is the right bus, right? And I'm asking people, like, I'm showing them the piece of paper, and I'm like, "Is this the right bus? Right? Is this the right here? The writing on the piece of paper?" And they're all like, yeah. So we arranged a time, and she obviously knew the schedule of the bus. So let's just say it was 1 o'clock in the afternoon. that the bus would get to the destination and at 1 p.m. in the afternoon. So I'm asking people to tell me like when to get off, because the bus is making multiple stops at different cities. And so they said, this is a stop right here, this one. So I get off the bus and she's standing right there in front of the doors. I was like, holy shit, that worked. So she had a place for me to stay. This little kind of, hotel kind of thing. Little flop house, basically. And, we hung out. And we went to eat and we walked around in these beautiful gardens. And it was an exciting experience. So, not much really happened after that, It was just the excitement of going and doing something like that. I'm adventurous. I mean, what's the worst that could happen, right? Well, there's a lot of bad things that could have happened. So the other part of the story is this website that she was using on her end was a service. And they did photography and they created her profile, and all she had to do was communicate. Well, sometimes these people that ran the website, they would also message the other party pretending to be that person. So it's kind of like a scam where they would try and scam people out of money. And so sometimes when I was chatting with her, in air quotes, it may have not have been her, right? It may have been these scammers. So she said, be careful when you get off the plane, because they may try and come grab you and ransom you. So now I'm like, I'm already committed. It's like, I already got the plane tickets. I already got the plan. We've already communicated back and forth. And now there's a twist, because I may have these Chinese guys looking for me to get off the plane, and they're gonna nab me and try and ransom me. I don't know who they would have contacted, because nobody would pay ransom for me. So I've come up with this plan to disguise myself and try and make myself not look like me, right? So I had a hat and a bandana around my neck and these dark sunglasses on. And these people in China must have thought, who is this guy? Is he some American celebrity? So, those people never got me. I don't know if they were looking for me or not, but I was prepared. So that's the worst that could have happened, right? The worst thing that could have happened is I got kidnapped and thrown in a dark room in the seediest part of Guangzhou, right? And beaten until I gave my name, right? So that's the worst that could have happened, but that didn't happen. But let's just say I got on the wrong bus, and I went to the wrong stop, and she wasn't there. Well, just enjoy China, right? Because I had no way to call her, like, because this was before, like, cell phones and, you know, international kind of, I was just communicating by email, not even email, by this app, by this, you know, dating app. So, yeah, if I didn't find her, then I would have just enjoyed China for a night or a day and a night and a half a day. And then I would have gone back to the airport and jumped on the airport or jumped on the plane back to Thailand. So, you know, wouldn't have been all that bad. Still would have been an exciting trip. And, yeah, that's a story that I have now that I can share with people on Facebook Live. So, pretty exciting stuff. And Thailand was just crazy. Like, so the point of telling you all this is, like, crypto. Crypto is a new language for you. You don't know anything about crypto. You heard of Bitcoin. You heard of Ethereum, maybe. Maybe you heard of the word blockchain before, but you don't understand it. Like, even I don't understand everything, because there's, like, so much. Like, it's a whole different world of lingo and strange names, like Kraken, right? And these names sound like scammy, right? Because they try and just come up with names that have never been used. So they come up with these weird names. So, don't be afraid of it. Just get with someone like me that understands it. And let me check my steps before I go any further. Oh yeah. I hit my steps. 3,700. So I am probably close to between 8,000 and 9,000, I would say, steps today. So that's a major goal crushing, because my goal is 6,500. So good job, Wayne. And Rocky is still hitting that bag. That man just